All right. So data in the data transmission, we basically have three factors which are involved in that. The three factors, right? First one, which we are concerned, is the direction of the data transmission, in which direction data is being transmitted, right? This would be the concern. Okay, now for those who are writing something on the chat, or who will write in the chat, just listen up. You don't need to write in the chat. If you want to say, and if you want to ask, if you want to stop me at that point, so use the mic. Thank you. Moving on. Directions, the direction of the transmission is very, very important for uh, the data transmission. Means the user, the sender and receiver should know in which direction data is being transmitted, right? We have the very second one, the transmission method, right, which we call it serial and parallel. And the third one is synchronization in the transmission. Synchronization means the both either they know the data is being transmitted or not, right? So now, first of all, direction of the transmission. Direction, what does that mean? Direction, it's basically giving you the path of the transmission. We have three directions or three kinds of data transmission, which we categorize on the direction, right? First one is simplex, half duplex, full duplex. You all have understood, or all have you all must have read it. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
All right. So simplex transmission is between, means it's a one way direction, one way transmission, means it only travels in one direction, from sender to receiver only, right? The example of this simplex data transmission, it's already mentioned here, data being sent from computer to printer. You are sending data from computer to printer to print it out on the paper, right? But you can't send any data from printer to computer, or printer can't send any data to printer to computer, right? So this type of transmission is simplex transmission. The very second example, or the very similar example, is the television, right? Television, in the television you have the TV, right? So signals coming from the antenna, and signals coming from the senders, you would be only receiving those you will be receiving all those signals. That transmission is only one way direction, one way transmission, means you won't be receiving, you won't be sending any data from your printer, from your TV to satellite or maybe antenna. You can't send anything, right? So this type of transmission, the example is the printer to the computer to printer, and the second one is antenna to television. All right, moving on. Half duplex. In half duplex, you can it's the unit, it's bidirectional. You can send data and you can also receive the data, but not at the same time. Like the very common example that you are actually using is basically the voice notes that you send to your friends on WhatsApp, right? You have voice notes, you record those voice note and you send it, right? Meanwhile, if you are sending something, so you can't listen to the other's voice note, right? Similar to that, if we take example of half duplex, it can be considered as the walkie-talkie. Have you all seen in the in movies and in short clips, the soldiers and the military persons use those walkie-talkie, right? They have a trigger, they have a button, they press that button, So it is able to receive the signal and send. It's basically sending to the receiver, right? The other person, which is maybe far away, would be receiving that message, right? Once you record it and send it, then you press the trigger to turn it off, and it would be off, and the message would be transmitted to the receiver. Similarly, as the receiver can be the sender, means the receiver receives the message, then he pulls the trigger and he presses the button of the walkie-talkie, he records the message and he sends that data. Is it clear till now, half duplex?
Yes, sir.
All right. So now full duplex, both directional simultaneously, as you call on the phone, right? At the same time you are receiving the messages, or sorry, message means the data, and you are sending the your data. Means if you are talking on the phone, so at that time you can also listen what is going on over there at the other call, right? You can feel the surrounding, you can listen the surroundings and all. So that's the half duplex data transmission. And very important, very basic example is the internet connection. You download the data, meanwhile you upload the data, right? So that's also the the full duplex example. All right, can you move on, or if you have any queries, can anybody give me any other example of this full duplex? Broadband connection, very good. It's also written over there, broadband connection. The phone calls, even if you are even if we are using this Meet, Google Meet, that's also the full duplex, right? Means you are listening to me and you can also speak if you turn on your mics, right? So that's also the this full duplex. What happened to my board? All right, so now moving on to the second thing, which would be our concern, is the transmission methods. In which method the data is being transmitted, right? So we have two methods mainly, serial and parallel data transmissions. Serial, it can be identified with its name also. Serial means serial wise, right? One by one. So it transmits data. For example, this is receiver and this is sender. Both can receive and send data to each other. So for example, sender is sending the data and receiver receiving it. So the transmission would be is the serial transmission, and it uses only one wire, and the whole data, which would be in a form of bits, right, which would be in the form of a 1 byte, would be divided into bits, and 1 bit at a time would be transmitted through a wire or through a channel, right? This would be the single wire. So 1 bit at a time would be transmitted from sender to receiver. All right, can you move on now? Parallel data transmission. Similarly, in the parallel data transmission, we have several wires, most prominently 8 bits. 8 bits means 8 wires at a time, to have the frequent, very accurate, you can't say accurate, very speedy transmission, right? 1 bit would be transmitted through 1 wire. So 8 bit at a time sent from 8 wires. So it would be very speedy. Then the sender sends 1 bit from 1 wire, and receiver receives that and compiles that, and it would be used accordingly. The data would be used accordingly. All right, so it uses 8 wires, it uses one single channel wire, serial transmission, so that's why it's called parallel. So the bits are being transmitted parallelly. All right, so let me just clear you one thing. In serial and parallel is that serial and parallel transmissions, the difference of these transmission among serial and parallel. Serial is reliable, right? Although it has a less speed, but it is reliable. It has a very less chances of the loss of the data. Parallel transmission is very speedy, but it is not that reliable comparative if you compare with the serial data transmission. Moving on, if you take a close look to the figure 2.1 and 2.2, so you can see it uses one wire, it uses 8 wires, so automatically the cost is the higher in this parallel transmission. So this would be called the cheapest transmission, cheaper one, and this would be the costly. All right, if you have any problems, so you can ask me right now. No sir. All right, so now moving on to the synchronization of the data transmission. We have two types of data transmission, the two types of synchronization: synchronous, asynchronous. So asynchronous and synchronous, they both basically applies to the several different systems. Asynchronous is most commonly used in the serial transmission. What does that mean, asynchronous? Asynchronous means which is not synchronous, right? There is no synchronization between the receiver and the sender. Likewise, is in synchronous data transmission, which is used by the parallel data transmission, it has the synchronization. Synchronization means they both know when the data is being transmitted, the sender and receiver. There is the alarm, or you can say there is an internal clock which has which is set to a specific time. It generates a signal on the clock, on the processor, or on the in the devices. So it generates the signal, and the both receiver and sender they know that the data is being transmitted. So receiver receives the data and sender is able to send the data. And this is the synchronous transmission is being used in parallel. So the both the all 8 bits transmitted at the same time. So it's more like a door, like it knocks the door when the alarm or the internal clock is set to that to generate the specific signal. It knocks the door, it opens that, and the whole data comes in, or the whole data transmits from one place to another, and the door is closed. So that's the synchronous data transmission. But here, unlike synchronous transmission, asynchronous, which is used by a serial data transmission, so it has a control bit. So before collecting any data, it sends a control bit, its start bit, which we can say start bit first. Then it will send the data bit by bit to the receiver, and when it's end, when the last bit is transmitted, after that the stop bit is being transmitted, and it is enclosed with the control bit, that after this stop bit, the my receiver will know that the data is fully transmitted, and it would compile the data and use accordingly where it needs to be used. All right, so synchronous, asynchronous, is it clear till now?
Yes, sir.
Jatin, Arshan, or okay,
Yes, sir.
Fasi, Jude. All right. Yusuf, Misam, Kifat. All right. Yusuf, Misam, and Kifat. I think, yeah, Yusuf is there. Misam and Kifat. They are sleeping, maybe, or maybe some issues. Ah, I'm not a Hitler. Don't worry. All right. So the data transmission is actually done. Moving on to the last topic of this day, USB, universal serial bus, or USB connections. Right, this is not the USB that you are using for data transmission. All right, that data transmission means the data traveling. The USB disk, or the USB drives that we are using, this is not our concern right now. I'm not talking about the storage devices. This is the USB connections that we use, right? And it has become the standard now, and every device you see can be connected with the USB from to any other device. All right, so we are talking about that USB. We're not talking about the storage device USB. All right, so the specification, the features of USB connection. It has four wires, four shielded wires. Two wires are used for power and earth, the positive and negative, and two wires are used in the data transmission. The two wires are used for data transmission, and two wires are used for the power. All right, so we have some features of this USB connection, these USB connection. The first one, whenever you plug anything from the USB, for example, you have the printer, the new printer, you just bought it, and you are just connecting it with the USB port of your computer system. So what happens when you connect the USB connection, the USB printer, to your computer system? So it automatically allow you to detect the device driver from it. So it detecting the virus, not it detecting the device driver inside your computer system, inside means in your operating system. If it is compatible, if it is present in your computer system, so it would allow you to get access to that device. Otherwise you need to install the driver. Okay, now just taking a very common example, very easy example, USB mouse. If you connect the USB mouse, so at the right bottom of your operating system, if you are using Windows, so what happens, it detects the the driver. It detects the driver of your mouse, it installs the driver, and it is ready to use for you. All right, so another thing, it takes very less amount of voltages from your computer system, and it has become standard, as I said earlier. It has become a standard, so mostly every manufacturer, every device, every organization, they are on the USB connections. So they use USB connection. Why? Because as compared to the previous connections, the USB connection is reliable. It has very less chances of the loss of data. All right, so the people use this very easily, and there are some specifications of this USB. What are those? Okay, so some benefits and some drawbacks. benefits, as I said earlier, we have different transmission rates also, means the USB connections you can have the different transmission rates. So if you have a higher transmission rate, so USB connection would be the costly one. So, but as comparatively, this USB connection and USB cables are comparatively very cheaper than the parallel connection, right? It's universal serial bus. Why it is called universal serial bus? Because it also has the buses like parallel connection, but it transmits the data in the method of serial transmission, right? So it is reliable, and it has buses too, so it's faster too. So it basically contains both properties of the transmission methods, the reliability from the serial connection and the speedy transmission from parallel connections. All right, so maximum cable length is that's a drawback. The maximum cable length is about 5 meters, so it would not work more than the 5 meter. Obviously it would work, but it would not be reliable. It would not be recommended if you use that the USB cable more than 5 meters. Moving on, the transmission rate is lesser than obviously the parallel one. And another drawback is the older USB standards may not be supported in near future. That is USB 1.1. The currently that we are using is USB 2.0 and 3.0, 3.1, right? And USB, if you have the older USB connection, which is USB 1.1, it would not work with the ports of USB 3.1 or maybe USB 3.0.